Okay, I think we're live.
We
Yep,
are
we're live.
live.
Hello and welcome to the Superpower Dare Die team. I'm Peter.
And I'm Rick, and today we're giving our impressions of the 2022 film, finally, The Batman. And starring a
Finally,
couple
we've
of.
only
Yeah.
just watched it, but I think I know what
No,
you
but
mean.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think
it
it's
was
been on the
delayed,
back
wasn't
burner.
it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been delayed for a long time.
Yeah. So it's a long movie.
It's a very long movie.
But what did you think, Pete?
I enjoyed it. I liked it. There's lots of things that I did like about it. I did think it was too long. Like it could have been trimmed down probably a good 45 minutes or so.
I wouldn't say
But I
that.
did, I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that long. Like, for me, there was a couple of, I would say probably three times I thought maybe it could have ended there. I've been in movies like that before where it's like, okay, that's the end. Oh, no, we're still going.
Yeah,
Oh, this is the end. Oh, no, we're still going. But thinking back on it, for the 20 minutes I had on the drive home, I don't think there's a lot of fat you could have trimmed from this movie. It was, I think, everything tied in.
yeah. I think they probably just could have told it a bit differently, the story a bit
Yeah.
differently, and then they could have like kept it a bit more brief, not brief, but a bit more tight, a bit more move the
Oh,
story along a
no,
bit quicker.
much happy. I was happy seeing Robert Pattinson on the screen for 3 hours. It was great.
Well, I liked him as Batman. I liked him and his stunt man as Batman. I didn't like him so much as Bruce Wayne. I didn't think
Like
he
his
really.
haircut.
Well, I hated his hair. I hated his hair.
I think you leaned across to me at one stage and
I
said, "I
did.
can't
I
stand the
said,
hair."
"This hair, I just can't cope." But yeah, I just thought he was fine as Batman, but as Bruce Wayne, it just didn't really do much for me. He didn't have
Well,
that sort of, I don't know, like charisma or
he,
playboy sort of air about him, and they didn't portray Bruce Wayne like that in this story. But
no, he was
he was
just
just a,
very.
he was just a bit emo and a bit mopey. He's sort of like
He was
a,
a.
I mean, I don't know how old Robert Pattinson is, but he looked like a mopey teenager as Bruce Wayne. He'd be like
Oh,
30 or something now, wouldn't he?
who knows?
Yeah.
But I
But
think
he was good as Batman.
he's a
And his
very different.
stuntman was good as Batman.
He's a very different Bruce Wayne. So
Yeah.
the stories, and I'm only guessing here because I haven't read the comics for a while, but I think this is based on a kind of a Batman Year Two story.
Okay.
And then in the back of my head there was something about the owls or some owls, as in hoot hoot, ooh,
Yeah.
that were a kind of a like a secret society
Okay.
that featured in that, and it was all about corruption in Gotham and stuff
Okay.
like that, which
Which
I
is what
think kind of this was kind of
about.
about. So
Yeah.
yeah,
What I really did like about it was like the detective elements. Like Batman was a
yeah.
detective in this, and that's what Batman is. And like the Batman movies, like thus far, haven't really like focused on that element.
I
And I
think the
think that was really good.
Christian
I enjoyed
Bale
that. Yeah, a little bit.
Christian
Yeah,
Bowen's tried to,
yeah,
especially the
but not
first
as
one.
much. Like this
Yeah,
was more to me like the detective story, and I really liked that he had that established relationship with Jim Gordon, and they worked together. Like he was working with the cops. They
yeah.
didn't have to go through the whole "Do I trust him?" blah blah blah.
I,
I
and
like that.
and I like that this wasn't another origin story. So yeah, he wasn't building up. Batman's been established, and he's got people who don't trust him, and he's because that's not what
But
he's there for.
he's already got that the alliance with Jim Gordon, and I
Yeah.
liked oh, what's his name? I've forgotten his name now. He's in so many things. I've forgotten his name. But Jim Gordon, I liked. Will come to me later.
Oh, because I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, it's he was in Westworld. He's been
Nah,
in
so I haven't
lots of
seen it.
things. He's been in tons of stuff, and now I just can't remember his name. But I also like the scenes where like they used like the shadows and the darkness and smoke in one scene, just like Batman's knocking off the villains just from the shadows and the darkness. And I've always sort of thought that would be really effective in a Batman movie. It's a bit like the Phantom comics. I don't know if you ever read the Phantom comics,
No.
but all the criminals were frightened because they're getting knocked off one by one and they're not seeing him. It reminded me of that type of thing.
I think the absolutely production values were brilliant in this, and the fight scenes were really well done. It was brutal, I guess, without being too graphic, but it was still.
Yeah, some of it was. Yeah.
But you're right. I liked the fact that I don't think the actual Batman films, like solo Batman films themselves, have been too over the top. But this was so grounded.
It was a lot more grounded. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to think because
Just got a question from Molly here. What age do you think would enjoy it most? My friend Catherine wants to watch it, but I'm not sure if we should, since it's a very long. I think 15 up people would probably like it. 15,
depends
16
what your
up.
attention span is. Yeah,
It is, but it's I mean it is long, but it's
and it is serious. I mean, there's
Like,
a
if you've
couple of
watched
light
the-
moments.
if you've watched the Lord of the Rings, you could sit through this easy.
Yeah.
There. Hi, Molly.
I liked the fact that, like you, it was the tech concentrated on the detective stuff more. And I was thinking back through the Batman films, and I'm taking the Batfleck out of this because he was Justice League, and that was end of the world stuff, and that's not or Batman versus Superman. That's never to me been what Batman's about. That was too big and spectacular. But then going backwards from there, you've got Christopher Nolan's the one with Bane, which I thought was a bit over the top.
Yeah, that was.
Dark Knight, I still rate, and the first Batman Begins. Where
I quite like Batman Begins.
That was all right, and that kind of did the detective stuff in it, but it had way over the top finish. And then you've got the stupid ones like Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, and then you go back to the Michael Keaton ones, which I guess at the time were okay, but I look back now, and this is just a class beyond.
I enjoyed that it was a bit more grounded, and there wasn't scenes that sort of took me out of it.
No.
Like, I remember even in The Dark Knight, there's a scene where he just flies to Japan or somewhere overnight, and then there's a truck that explodes that nobody noticed and things like that, and that took me out of it. But there wasn't scenes in this that took me out of it. I didn't like the score very much. I didn't like the Batman theme very much. It sounded
I absolutely loved it.
Oh, did you? I thought it sounded too much like the Imperial Death March or something. Especially at the beginning when he was first in it, it sounded like the drums beating things. So I didn't really like that main theme for the Batman.
No, I thought it was perfect for him and this movie. I liked the suit. I think the suit's great.
Yeah, I thought the suit was good. Had lots of little attachments and things, but I think they should have set up some of the suit a bit better though. Like there's a scene towards the end where he cuts something and then he puts the bat symbol back on his chest. I reckon they should have set that up a bit earlier.
Nah, I'm happy with that. Like it was, it's a nice.
Because then he uses it later.
A magnet on his chest. That was the setup then. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it should have been a bit earlier. Like like a James Bond movie or something where they set up the stuff earlier and it pays off later on. Like instead of setting something up and then 5 minutes later it pays off.
So
but that's they're minor quibbles.
Yeah, very minor. So I love the storyline. It had that feel to me of one of those, and the one that's popped into my head is Seven, but Seven was a bit more gory. But that whole idea where you've got this killer out on the loose, and they're trying to work out the clues to go stop the next murder and all that sort of stuff. It was really well done.
I thought it was quite atmospheric and the relationship between him and Catwoman was quite good, and she was a different Catwoman. Like she had more of a purpose. She had a reason behind what she was doing. She wasn't just turned evil by cats and then became a criminal. Like she was had a backstory.
How dare you dismiss Michelle Pfeiffer? It's like that. No, you're right. So every character, no, not every character, the main characters, because it was really about Catwoman and Batman. Because Jim Gordon didn't have it. I was
surprised to see John Turturro show up. I didn't know he was in it, so it was interesting to see him.
I thought that was a really clever bit of casting to put.
Yeah. Because when you first see that character, it's not that clear, like who it is. I think it was on a TV screen or a photo or something, and you
Yeah.
didn't really know who it was. And then it was, oh, that's John Turturro. And then there was Colin Farrell as like the Penguin,
Yep.
who looked a bit like Robert De Niro in Raging Bull when he was fat.
You know what? But there was a part when he was No, that's right. When he was talking and he had the sort of gold teeth, and I was thinking of Home Alone when
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci, and I couldn't stop thinking of Joe Pesci after that. He was talking like Joe Pesci too.
Yeah, he was a little bit. I think that they're setting up for sequels again. I don't know how well this is going to do with all the COVID stuff in the cinemas and things, but I wouldn't mind seeing another movie with him. Like, I like Andy Serkis as Alfred as well. Like,
yeah.
When we did the preview of the 2022 movies, and I didn't know the director, I didn't know who Matt Reeves was. I looked him up, and he's the guy that did the Planet of the Apes like reboot movies. So that's where Andy Serkis has come into it.
Yep. Okay.
Because he was Caesar in those. So he probably enjoyed working with him, so he's brought him into this.
I could see absolutely more movies in this universe if they keep it this grounded, and if they give just going over the top.
If they give Bruce Wayne a haircut, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I think he was very sad. He needed a sad haircut. He was a sad person.
Sad emo.
I was just trying to think
the main villain, the Riddler, I didn't really like his design. I probably saw it on the posters and thought, why is Bane in this? But he just looked like a guy in a gimp mask with glasses. I didn't think that was the best design, but it sort of made sense towards the end.
Yeah.
So I sort of can live with that. So again, minor quibbles. Overall, I did really enjoy it. And it was much better than I expected it to be.
I think it was everything I hoped it would be. So
yeah.
And I don't know, maybe because we went to watch it after a day at work, and I was a bit tired. So
yeah, I was a bit tired.
Maybe the length of it, I felt it a bit more then. But
yeah, that's possible. Yeah,
because
I did think it was too long. Apart from that, there's not too much else to complain about. I have my little gripes, but they're not anything that made me dislike the movie. So yeah, it's a good one. I've just seen 4 movies. The last 4 movies I've seen at the movies, I haven't liked 3 of them. So it's nice, nice to see something I enjoyed for a change. And it's another superhero movie. The 2 movies I've really enjoyed this year, Spider-Man and Batman. Or was that last year's Spider-Man there? Yeah, well, the most recent movies I've seen have been superheroes. That's all we're getting.
No, again, this is the Batman I sort of I've always wanted to see on screen. So they've done it justice. And if they keep going along this way, I do worry about how it's going to go box office wise, because I don't think people know the bigger audiences know what they want when they want Batman. Like, do they want the dark and gritty and just keep it like, let's keep it really street level type stuff? Or do they want to see him going off and saving the Empire State Building from exploding or something like that, and big explosion? So I don't know.
I mean, there was still enough in it, I think, that would entertain people. Like, it's not things flying everywhere or people falling from great heights and landing on their feet and surviving. So it's
not Black Widow,
like that, but it's not Black Widow. Bruce Wayne looks like an edgy teenager in this, is what my friend Molly says on here.
Well, he's doing all right for his age then. So,
I don't know how old he is, but I didn't
he's not
like
a teenager.
That look,
but it makes sense for the character. And if we're going to talk about that, we might just advise people in a sec that.
Should we go into spoilers, or did you want to leave it, or? Because I had a question about something that I wanted to ask you. All right, so
we'll do that then. I'm happy to do another proper spoiler review of this, but I'm going to give. We've got about 10 seconds for people to turn off.
If you haven't seen it,
if you haven't
and
seen
you don't
it,
want to hear spoilers,
I think we're the first people in the world to see it. So,
Don't know about
so
that.
most people haven't seen it, but I'm assuming we don't have a massive audience out there. Sorry, what am I saying? To the
We've got a
millions of people.
to the millions of people.
Yes.
So we will give you a spoiler warning, and we'll go into some spoilers. So
All right. So, well, just let me give people time to turn off.
So turn off and come back and watch the rest later if you don't want to be
I'm going to
spoiled.
try and hum the theme. Bum, 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 bum. I think I got that pretty good. Not too bad.
Oh, we lost one. Someone doesn't want to spoil. Are we ready?
All right.
So can I spoil it by asking you a question?
Oh, is this going down the Riddler path?
I was just wondering how you felt about the change of legacy for Bruce Wayne's father.
Now that was something I was going to mention. It was in the back of my head, and I forgot about it earlier. So in the Joker movie, because I actually thought they were at some stage they were going to somehow tie this into the Joker movie, and I was a bit worried about that because Thomas Wayne, from memory, he was a bit of an arse in that, and
yeah, I think he might have been.
Yeah, he was, and again, so this goes back to the comic book that I didn't read, but the owl thing or whatever. So I think they've changed the history of it in the comics that Thomas Wayne may have been a bit corrupt or involved in it. He wasn't, but he wasn't. It was kind of set up like that, and it shattered a lot of stuff for Bruce. But at the same time, I think Alfred sort of cleared it up, saying,
"Yeah, he sort of." It's like they made a big reveal and then sort of backpedaled a little bit, and he still did something that was wrong.
Yeah.
Like he didn't do the right thing, but it was not as bad as what it could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with that because I don't think anyone's. Yeah, in reality, no one's squeaky clean. So
no.
So
but it is a change for me. Like I mean, it didn't really bother me either, but it was. I thought it was quite a departure from other like Batman movies and shows that I've seen.
Because Thomas Wayne was always just held up as the saint sort of thing, and so I kind of like the idea that Bruce is a little kid who saw his kids murdered.
Yeah,
you hold your kid, you hold your parents up in high stead. So he's then. It's happened to me as an adult. Like you learn about your parents more through adults' eyes. It's like, oh, okay, so yeah.
But they also made the mum to have some problems as well, I guess. So
yeah. So and I think they did that in Joker as well, which is why I was a bit worried they were going to try and connect those universes. So
yeah,
I'm glad they didn't.
But it's it's not a big. But I thought it was quite a departure from other things, and that would be a spoiler for other people. So what were you wanting to talk about with the spoilers?
Now that I got a chance to, I can't really think. Really spoiling it because I think they did the trailers really well because most of the stuff in the trailers happened in the first 10 minutes of the movie. Then it was just spaced out with stuff that happened over, and even then, I think they filmed some fake scenes for trailers.
Yeah, I think they do that sometimes.
I think, yeah.
They did it with one of the Avengers movies where they had the Hulk running as the Hulk, but he wasn't the Hulk.
Nah.
I don't know which. I can't remember which one it was, but
I think
it was one of them.
Yeah.
I thought there's a scene in it where you think that the Batman's identity is going to be revealed. I thought that was quite interesting, and then I thought it was going to be like the motive is like orphan envy type thing. Like
I was wondering whether the kid that was orphaned was, and I may have missed it because I found a lot of the film quite mumbly and some of the dialogue really hard to grasp. But
like Bane,
yeah, the the orphan, and just refer to him as that. I thought maybe he was the kid of the
The reporter.
journalist that was murdered.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought that's what the big reveal was going to be.
Yeah.
But they sort of didn't.
But I liked that. I like
know
it was
that.
kind of he was just some random kid
Yeah.
who yeah,
Didn't have a good life and
And
wanted to
resented someone
change
else.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had a similar life but a better life.
yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's probably enough.
Yeah.
I don't really have much more to say. I'd have to watch it again to do if we were going to do a deeper dive.
Yeah.
On it, I think.
I think I'm the same because I was doing a lot of thinking about it on the way. Like the one thing I didn't want to be when I left the cinema was disappointed, and I
Yeah.
wasn't. Like again, I'm like you. I thought it was a bit too long, but I was wondering whether that was because I was just tired
Too
as well,
tired.
and
Yeah.
to take it on because I thought it was a great movie. The way they handled the character Batman was brilliant. Like the way sometimes he just stepped out of shadows and
Yeah, see, I like that. I thought that was really cool. There's like a scene in one of the Mandalorian episodes on a space station that's like that, and I really enjoyed that. So, yeah. So I enjoyed the movie. I have a couple of little quibbles, but they're nothing that spoiled the movie for me, and it's nice to see something that I enjoyed again. So, yeah.
Yeah, I look forward. I really hope this does well, and I want to see Matt Reeves do more. I think he was one of the writers on this one too, so I'd like to see where he would like to take this.
All right. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. We had a few people watching us live, and hopefully other people will watch it when it's up. We are on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. If you want to follow us there, all the links are in the description that I'll put below. Thanks for your support.
No worries. Thanks everyone. Probably bedtime for me now, so thanks a lot. I hope you got something out of it, but I recommend this film. Go see it.
Yeah, it was good. So
See you later.
thank you. Sorry if we rambled on. See ya.
Cheers. Bye.